Well, hi there, and welcome to part one of my Let's Play of Final Fantasy VII. The discerning viewer might ask, isn't there already a different Let's Play that got slightly outside, well, I'd say a little further than slightly, but somewhere outside of Midgar City, namely right around Cosmo Canyon? And yes, indeed there was. I was trying to use the, I was successfully at the time using the Remako mod, which was, I didn't do a great deal of research, but I had previously done Final Fantasy IX with a mod, and it really made the experience a lot more enjoyable, so I thought, what the heck, I'll do it again. And there's this mod program called Seventh Heaven, and it took me a little bit of kind of messing around to get it to finally work, but I wasn't having any issues really once it did, and I thought, okay, smooth sailing, hopefully, but alas, there was not in Cosmo Canyon with Red's grandfather when you get that little observatory, the speech about what's happening to the planet and how, absorbing the Mako's bad. It got bugged where basically like when it used to start showing the animation where he's like sucking the life out of the planet, he should be like narrating what happens, but the first narration line starts after you gain control of Cloud, like after the presentation ends, and it just it's gets all out of whack then and doesn't progress. And I tried to just do a regular like non-Steam version and load the save, and it was a whole thing. Like I'm not gonna like overblow it and be like, oh, I spent like a gazillion hours. I spent I really was enjoying the mod, and I was I didn't want to have to do this all again, but anyway, here we are. So I guess I've obviously have played up to Cosmo Canyon in my run, and I'm gonna pretty much do a similar thing. I don't imagine anyone that might be stumbling upon this. I'm not exactly about to be like, oh, well, see my previous run for this commentary. I guess I'm gonna just kind of do. I mean, it won't be verbatim. This is I'm sure this should be self-evident, evident that I'm speaking extemporaneously and obviously have no script here. But yeah, I guess I'll kind of my purpose, and I guess adding commentary versus just with some of the previous stuff I did where it was just capturing footage. Because ultimately I'd like to use this footage in a future kind of scripted video essay style video, kind of comparing and talking about the 3 PlayStation era Final Fantasy games. But so in any event, I also did want to maybe in the future I'll kind of try and do more commentary / let's play type stuff. So kind of this would be a good practice if nothing else. And it's not, I wouldn't be using the audio anyway for a video essay. It would all be video. So, it's kind of a two birds thing. But so yeah, in any event, I'll just kind of be commenting on, the plot, gameplay, really just any old thing that comes to my mind. I'm like many people, I think, of my generation. I'm in my 30s now. And the first time I played this game, it came out... See, the first time I played it was like end of 5th grade, and it at that point had already been out for 2 or 3 years. But anyway, I've spent many hours playing this game over the years and plenty of time discussing it and thinking about it. And, there are many super influential video games that really have stood the test of time. Obviously not, not graphically with the character models in these kind of sequences are quite pixely, but really a terrific game that everyone loves. Great plot, good JRPG combat. But so anyway, I guess I've kind of been talking about the game without actually saying what's going on. But so here we are as the main character, the protagonist, Cloud. He is a mercenary now. He was a member of Soldier in all caps, which is kind of the elite army or elite branch of the Shinra, who is kind of the at least they start out being the main bad guys, and then they end up just being one of the two bad guys. But anyway, he is joining Barrett, who is the other party member who we just named, and who will shortly thereafter be joining our party. But Barrett's a member of Avalanche, also in all caps. That's how you know they're for real. And I only say that because one might otherwise think like Shield. No, unless Shield's not a video game example. I was thinking of Stars, which is a video game example. You know, sometimes like Stars is always in all caps because it's an acronym. And you know, of course, you could, if you want to be technical, you could period, so you really know it's an acronym. So Wedge, kind of overweight member of Avalanche, and he's securing the exit. He like literally never does anything. He's clearly like he's taking the risk by showing up and stuff. I think he believes in the Avalanche cause, but he's clearly not like a fighter, or doesn't seem to have much technical know-how. But anyway, where was I? Barrett. I'm not like that lost to my train of thought. I'm just trying to not repeat myself. So anyway, Barrett, Avalanche has hired Cloud for this job. We're going to be bombing a Mako reactor, which and it gives basically kind of like a nuclear power plant you might think of in real life. But it's this is one of like 7 or 8. Forget which, but you'd think hopefully it's 7 because the game's Final Fantasy VII. I guess I'd have to. They'll definitely tell me at one point. I should probably know. You'd think 8 would probably be more symmetric. I'm gonna go with 8 just because symmetry, because the city of Midgar is like a pizza. So, but anyway, so we are basically like eco-terrorists, and we are going to blow up this energy reactor, and a lot of people are going to get killed. But we are doing this because the planet's a dying cloud, as we will soon be lectured on. There's an ether over here. Don't mind it. Phoenix Stone. Whatever. Same thing. I think there's an ether in a chest in the in the next reactor. That's probably what I was thinking of. But in any event, these Mako reactors are quite damaging to the planet, and so Avalanche is going to put a stop to it before the planet's destroyed, basically. And Cloud is very kind of detached and indifferent about it, and kind of just like the cool guy, like, not my problem. He does a lot of that early on. And early on and really throughout. Like Cloud's still a pretty heroic character in a lot of ways, but he's also definitely has a lot of squall ... whatever type stuff in his own way. So we're just making our way through the reactor. It's really pretty. You see a few kind of like generic enemy types. Some who you will see in you'll see different forms throughout the game, like namely the soldiers or some of the robots, these little plant guys. We're going to see them a few times in Midgar and whatnot, but this is, like many video games in general and many JRPGs, the first hour or so, it's pretty easygoing stuff. Plenty of the guys will die from auto attacks, and it's all pretty straightforward. And yeah, we're just getting the basics. Jesse's gonna help us out and tell us how the game ought to be played. Tell us how to climb down ladders. Unfortunately, very pixelated looking ladders. I'm not gonna say like it was a night and day difference. Obviously, it didn't. Say it was the same character models and everything, which leaves something to be desired. But while it was tragic, it stopped working. And I would be hard pressed to recommend it just based on that. It really did make the game much easier on the eyes, I will say. So, RIP. As far as like small perks go. This is my... I guess I'm just going to do a different slot just so I don't have to save over that. But yeah, that was my, not the Let's Play run, but the last time I played this game, like a year-ish ago, that was my party. And that's kind of, I mean, every party's kind of viable in that you can beat the weapons with any party, period, I would argue. And there's kind of, as far as what the absolute best it is, it's a little kind of debatable, I suppose, but I think it's pretty widely agreed, like Yuffie and Sid is kind of the team. I'm going to be this time going Barret and Cloud. Barret, Barret's also really a really high tier party member, I would say. But I'd argue not quite as good as Yuffie and Sid. And then I'm going to be running Red, who is probably, I guess I would probably say is the next best, but I haven't ran Red in my party since like way back in the day, so that'll at least be something different. I had mentioned this in my previous ill-fated Remako run, but I would have almost, just for the absolute party I've never done before, gone with Tifa. But it was kind of a, like, I don't think I do a great job hitting the slots necessarily. And I don't think she's, like, again, I don't think any character is, like, not runnable, but I think she's kind of underwhelming. So at least with Barret, you know, he's nice and sturdy. He's one of those characters where you don't end up using his level 4 limit break, because I might need to remap this or something. I'm not quite clear what the escape button is mapped to on the controller I'm using it now. I'm sure with the worst case scenario I could figure it out on the keyboard, but yeah, I guess that's little kink to work out. Nothing that's really gonna jam up my at least gameplay, and I'm gonna try and do a similar-ish thing where I'll make any given episode around an hour, and yeah, hopefully I'll be back to Cosmo Canyon in no time. I'm going to be a little bit more... I'm still going to be taking my time, enjoying the game, talking to NPCs, etc. But at least in the early parts, I'm going to try and be a little bit more Johnny on the spot. And I might not, you know, comment on every single minor thing, I guess. But who knows? Maybe I'll run out of random extemporaneous things to say, and I'll just be forced to actually react to things that are happening in the plot of the game. But yeah, Cloud he'll have much worse episodes as the game progresses. But you know, he gets this, I guess, voice in his head telling him it's not just a reactor, which kind of, you know, the first time playing the game, knowing nothing about Cloud, you know, really who Cloud is or who, you know, what's going on. That's kind of interesting. It definitely makes you think there's something going on there. So here we are with our first boss, the guard scorpion, I believe. Kind of pretty NBD like many first bosses. There's a little. It's not like there is something to this boss as far as mechanics go, or it's not just a spam attack. Like there's something to it, so I would definitely give them props for that. I also think that this is a pretty cool robot. I definitely think it looks a lot cooler than the next boss, the Airbuster. I've always kind of found that to be ridiculous looking. I mean, maybe I'd say I think they did a bit of a better job with it in the remake, but yeah, it's just kind of goofy. Whereas at least this, it's like, it's got a tail. That's pretty menacing. I'm going to try and be a little bit careful here, because the sort of one gimmick to it is Barret's about to give me instructions in a second that, yep, there we go. A lot of people will, so is it, you know, oh no, I'm sorry, it's Cloud. He says, Barret, be careful. And then, but so what people will really kind of complain about, and it's like, I understand the point of view, like how it could be misleading, but he says, attack while its tail's up, and it's not like, period, the end. The next line is it's supposed to be attack when its tail's up, comma, and it will counterattack with its laser. So you're supposed to wait here, or it's going to hit you with a like laser tail, I think is what it's called. But yeah, it'll hit both party members for not crazy damage, but moderate damage. It's the kind of thing where usually it's you know, even if you were to misread the text, you do it once, and I think you kind of catch on to how it works. People I think would probably agree you can still catch a lot of random tail lasers just by carelessly auto attacking. Sometimes you queue up a few attacks, and and this could still very well happen to me in the fight. I think he'll get a couple of tail ups in a given fight. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this fight. There is, of course, some elemental strengths and weaknesses in this game, like in many other Final Fantasies and like in many other JRPGs. And as a general rule of thumb, it is often the case that robots take extra damage to, or are weak to lightning. They take extra damage from lightning, much the same way that you can use healing spells on undead enemies in these games. So Kleinkaut, of course, has lightning equipped. We are still very early in the game where you cannot even equip a materia. This is just the stuff that comes equipped. We pick up the restore materia there right before the boss fight. This is quite a few enemies. As I said before, I have not figured out what the run keys are, but I would still we have ample time, of course, as is the case with many video game escape things. Well, sometimes things, maybe if they're later in the game, they can be more challenging, but yeah, with this thing, there's enough time where there might maybe seem like a sense of urgency, but you would have to be, I'd say, dawdling to not make it out in time. Although, incidentally, if you do let the time run out, as we're going to see in a couple seconds, there's like an explosion animation, but you can see the guys running out right before it. And yeah, you see the same like explosion clip play, but without having seen your guys run out, and then it just goes to the game over screen. So it's definitely kind of, I wouldn't go as far as to call it like a piece of trivia. I don't think it's like that obscure of, but I would say plenty of people have never let the time run out because it's so generous. One thing that can maybe add a couple minutes to your clock is if you don't go talk to Jessie. If you just think, oh, she's standing there for some reason. We did leave her when we did leave her earlier, she was there, but yeah, she got her leg stuck in the grate, and she will be required to progress because she has one of the gate codes. So up we go. Try and walk in more or less as direct a line as I can. It's really not no reason to get into random fights right now, so just try and go in a direct a path as I can. I'd say our last fight before we get out of here, but I'd probably be jinxing it, and we'll probably get stuck with another. Again, not that it matters for time, it's more just like, I guess in the perfect world, I'd really rather have all the party members I'm going to be using assembled before I start, trying to go out of my way for random things, but at the very least, I'd rather have 3 party members and start to get my materia equipped so I can start getting it leveled up. Off we go. I could be mistaken, but now that I think about it, I don't think I got it in my last run, But I feel like if you talk to the other one before you talk to the gate one, they might give you some like very minor healing item, like a potion kind of thing. I'm gonna need some fact checking on that though. I don't know that for certain. Yeah, there's lots of those little kind of things, which are nice touches. I always like when, even if it's not a huge prize, when you kind of get rewarded for, you know, trying to talk to people frequently or talk to people under different circumstances. But of course, a single healing item, you know, like most of these games, you end up at the very end having a bunch of extra, you know, mega elixirs and turbo ethers and X potions, etc. So yeah, we pick up Jesse here right in the nick of time. It's quite the explosion. And yep, I guess I can do, yeah, you can count. There are in fact 8 reactors. 7 would be weird, you know, just to go with the Final Fantasy VII things, you'd be like, well, it's a circle. Like, wouldn't a nice even number like 8 make more sense? Like, I mean, just for example, I mean, who would cut a pizza into 7 slices? I mean, you can, but... It seems easier. So yeah, we made it out. I'm not really ever clear if like Biggs is, or not Biggs, Wedge is running comically because he's supposed to be like on fire or whatever. Never really clear on that. But anyway, yeah, mission successful, and now we need to all separate and make our way back to the base. Cloud, of course, is gonna ask about his money real quick, and Barrett tells him not now. There we see she's not going to join our party just yet, but there is Eris. And as is the case with the previous run, one thing, I've done pretty much everything you can do in this game, but I have not actually gotten the Yuffie date in the past, so I'm trying to get that in this run. And there's nothing like really crazy you have to do with this guide that I'm following. But there are a couple of specific things. Something that's not really evident because you can't see it in the menu. It's a... Yeah, I think we'll just try and skedoodle here. Again, there's oh whoops. The I don't know, again, I'm sure this is all setting stuff. The actual like D-pad isn't picking up, and the joystick is, and it's it's not a joystick. I'm just trying to think of what the there's an actual name for it. That's such an like, don't think that people use the term joystick anymore. But in any event, it's quite sensitive with the menu scrolling and stuff. So it's definitely something I'll need to be aware of, because yeah, it's not a huge deal whatsoever to fight these guys. I ideally would have ran. I have a train to catch, as it were. Yeah, this is kind of done in the sort of, there's definitely some sort of pseudo cutscene like thing, like that train. It's definitely a lot smoother than like the usual like resolution of backgrounds and stuff, but you still have like Cloud is pretty, you know, polyagonal or whatever, versus, you know, there's definitely cutscenes where it's fully rendered and all the characters look really good. But yeah, the members of Avalanche all made it on the train, and they're wondering if Cloud is gonna fight for Avalanche and if he made it and all that stuff. And Barrett's kind of being sullen. the mouths on some characters, like that's one thing. It's just like I have no idea why they went with that. It just it looks like they're perpetually surprised or whatever. I mean, again, it doesn't, you know, I played this back in the day, and it definitely doesn't bother me as far as like because you'd still notice it back in the day, certain things that it still doesn't look amazing, but you know, it's everything else about the game is so excellent that, you know, it's I mean, I'm not this isn't I don't really think this is an opinion people hold, but if people were to be like, oh, I don't like Final Fantasy because the character models, like I like everything else, but I think it's a bad game because of the character models, I feel like that would be a pretty ridiculous take. Yeah, Jesse wipes off your face. You've got some soot or some coal or some ash from the explosion, something like that. So yeah, we will be making our way onto the train. And so yeah, as we're about to find out from this short kind of the computer screen's going to show like a map of the city. I guess it's kind of is similar to like airplanes showing your flight path or whatever, but it's going to explain that Midgar has this upper plate that all the reactors are on, and that's like the got to be very precise to talk to Jesse here. That's the next objective. But anyway, yeah, so all of the slums are like below on like the ground level, and that's where there's, you know, lots of pollution and lots of kind of sort of shanty kind of looking houses and stuff, and clearly a lot of poverty and things. And yeah, there's some kind of ID scan thing, which is, speak of the devil, yeah, happening right now. And yeah, they're all carrying fake IDs. And Biggs was actually saying before about oh wait, whoops, I gotta make sure I talk to her. Looking forward to it. I almost, if I'd walked like a couple steps further, Bear would have called me over, and this whole thing would have been a wipe. That would have been tragic. Because yeah, that is one of the things. I think by saying that you get minus Tifa points, but I don't believe I finished the thought. I think I got distracted by those Shinra soldiers. I was starting to say there's a couple actions, and mostly it's like selections and dialogue, things like that. But there's basically like characters all have this like affection rating, and different answers will give some certain characters plus and certain characters minus. And so the thing for the Yuffie date I'm trying to do is it's at the Golden Saucer right before you go to the Temple of the Ancients. Yeah, Barrett calls it a unknown swear word pizza, you know, because the thing is, you know, a big circle or whatever. It's because of the pizza that people are suffering. It's kind of funny. But in any event, the options for the date are Eris, Tifa, Barrett, Yuffie. I think Eris being the most likely one to happen in a given run. Tifa is also very happenable, and then Barrett and Yuffie are both ones where you kind of have to be a lot more deliberate in how you answer things to make them happen. So hopefully, yeah, that's what I was trying to make happen in the last run. There's not the guide I'm following. I'd say there's maybe like 15 individual steps. I'll definitely say when I'm doing something specific about it. But yeah, it's just something where if I get that far in the game, because that's getting pretty close to the end of disc 1, I'm obviously not gonna go back and do it again. But you know, again, I've done the most of the stuff in the game, so just trying to do something new. All right, and we have arrived. We are, you know, on terra firma now. We are not on some hovering platform. Yeah, Barrett's gonna give us a quick debriefing. And here is we'll be coming back the opposite way. We'll be looping back around in before the end of Midgar. Won't be too far down the line, but that's the train graveyard. You can actually do random encounters there, but there's just no point. Here we got a save point. I guess we'll go ahead and drop a quick save here. Have to get used to doing the save 2 there. So we'll go ahead and chat with this guy real quick. Speaking of just like with that train graveyard over there, things we're going to be seeing again the next little bit down the way. This guy's forget if he says this is like his home or something. He's got some name for this, but this guy's all about looking up at this pillar, which is one of several that is supporting the proverbial pizza that is the upper crust of Midgar City. We see a little bit of this kind of stuff with the model of the train kind of spiraling around the city. Oh, he just says place. You can come here when you want. See ya, bro. What a guy. Yeah, just lots of little dialogue like that. That's kind of one of the things that enjoying a good JRPG is just chatting to random wacky NPCs and hearing about all their nonsense and hijinks. Yeah, billion gil worth of damage, and fair number of innocent people were killed. And yeah, of course, it being energy source, they're saying there's blackouts and stuff. It would only make sense. This guy Johnny Wheel definitely he's a resident of Sector 7 or whatever. But yeah, he will pop up a couple. He's not by any means like an important character, but he will pop up throughout the game. Actually, I guess we do all this stuff in the morning, so no need to. I'll talk to all these guys then. Here we meet for the first time Marlene, who is not Cloud's, just Red Cloud on the screen, Barrett's daughter. And we meet Tifa, who is Cloud's childhood friend and will soon be joining the party as a party member. And yeah, so anyway, this is the Avalanche hideout, is Tifa's bar. It's called Tifa's Seventh Heaven, and it's got the pinball as like a secret elevator to the hideout, which I've always thought was incredibly cool. Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that we need to do for the Yuffie date is not to talk to Tifa before coming down here. And the reason you can talk to her and get points with her. She will make you a cocktail so you can have a drink before you come down here, which again, you'd probably do in the normal playthrough just to do all the dialogue and etc. But there's plenty of random things you might do to try and get negative points with people, because yeah, going back to that whole dating minigame, it's really not about getting like a real there's not a lot of chances to get plus Yuffie affection or affinity or whatever. It's really about getting minus to the other party members. And so yeah, they're kind of arguing. Obviously, it's been said a time or two before, but Soldier is a Shinra military thing. So he definitely did work for the enemy. Yeah, he still misses Shinra, he says. But yeah, Cloud clearly doesn't really believe in the cause of saving the planet and everything the same way that Barrett and the gang clearly do. So bit of an ideological difference they have kind of early on. I definitely think I don't know, it's sort of like I guess they have an interesting relationship throughout the game, in that I never really say they seem like they're especially friendly or chummy, but I guess it's probably at the very least there's a mutual respect kind of thing. So this is another thing I need to make sure I select the right thing on. Oh wow. Again, it's it's very sensitive, but yeah, I gotta hit her with a ... sorry. But anyway, so she's gonna, of course she is your childhood friend, and she's gonna tell you about a promise that you made back when Cloud and her were kids. And this is their hometown of Nibelheim or Nibelheim, probably the latter sounding cooler. But this is a conversation that they had right before Cloud was going to leave town to try and join Soldier, because again, it's like the elite military thing. All those guys I fought in the reactor and the guys I fought before I jumped on the train were just regular kind of Shinra general infantry or whatever, and they all got one shot. They're just regular dudes with batons and guns and helmets. But the Soldier's definitely it's very prestigious. It's the elite military thing. Although it's not really made evident immediately. Well, they start to talk about Mako infusion with Cloud's eyes being blue. That's something that some characters will notice soon. But yeah, it's not just a prestigious the way Green Beret or Navy SEAL would be. It's also, they are kind of super soldiers. They get some kind of enhancement. Although I suppose not. I mean, you do fight like people who are supposed to be like just regular generic soldier people in the Shinra HQ, and they're not really that tough. It's not like Tifa can't beat a soldier or whatever. I guess there's, different power levels though, of course, someone like Sephiroth, who they'll mention, I think they mention here. But anyway, yeah, that's the promise she was referring to that prompted this whole flashback was, if you get really famous, you'll come save me, which is like, what? Um, this is, of course, one of those things they'll definitely talk at length about Cloud having joined Soldier and having been in Soldier and things like that. But yeah, we definitely learn that that's, while he does have blue eyes from having some kind of Mako infusion type thing, he, in fact, was never actually a member of Soldier. We are going to find out. But yeah, we get our pay for the first mission, which, again, yeah, don't make me laugh. Cloud, Cloud being allegedly being a former member of Soldier, he thinks should, command a much higher pay than a paltry 1,500 gil. So, they haggle a little bit. These are, of course, the amounts that will, be trivial very shortly. But, again, you have to have a real amount of money they talk about. All right. I think this is the last thing I need to be worried about for a while. I need to make sure I do not talk to Tifa before leaving. And so the guide doesn't really tell you to do this. So you can do this tutorial. I think this gives you minus spirit points, which I don't know that I specifically need, but again, it wouldn't hurt. And also, I know how materia works, so I'm not going to do the tutorial. We're good. But yeah, so now this is when we get the ability to equip materia. And so we still just have the 3, but we'll find one and we'll have the opportunity to purchase some as well. Marlene is left to watch the bar and tend the bar. That's just the kind of hard scrabble life that they live in the Sector 7 slums. You have so that she was supposed to be 4 or something. I thought she was supposed to be really young, but even if you told us that oh no, she's actually 8, I'd still be they're not a little bit old. They're a little bit young to be tending bar and watching after a bar. But, again, I guess it's just how things are. But yes, there's plenty of guys we can talk to here. They'll get a tutorial. Yeah, Cloud won't charge them, but he will, in fact, rap with them. So yeah, this will just give you some explanations as to how to do things. And there's an advanced tutorial, I think, in Junon. I always like this one, yeah, the limit break thing. Because, yeah, again, they're both it's I like the idea that children have limit breaks too, and then it's this little girl, it's glowing and just gets this 10-hit combo off. Pretty godlike. But, so yeah, those things are obviously just for flavor, but we have a, save point. I love the idea of talking save points and talking chess, even though this is really the only time they do that. So that's definitely really the important thing to pick up is the all materia. I mean, obviously it's just generally a good practice to loot everything you can, but the all materia especially, there's a finite number in the early game, and it's good to start leveling them up right away, but also, yeah, just very useful even in the early game. I'm going to be pretty much exclusively auto attacking. I'll do the odd magic here and there, and maybe when I level things up, I'll give it a throw one out. But yeah, no, it's it definitely does more damage, but it's just it's longer animations, and it's really not very necessary. Get nothing. Hit the brick skid. So this shop doesn't. I think they might sell you a bangle, but yeah, it's really not necessary. honestly, I'm gonna buy funds permitting, probably one fire, one lightning, one restore. I mean, lightning can be kind of useful early game, I guess, because of the robots, and it's not to. I mean, if you're using it against an elemental weakness, it's like there's nothing wrong with any of these materials. Just, you know, there's no real need to it. I'm just doing it because you know, because I can. Getting fire at all, that is, like, I don't, it's again, I don't know, I can't really think of a boss fight where it's like, oh, thank God I have the fire materia specifically. Now you might use some kind of fire elemental thing, but yeah, I don't know about, again, the materia specifically. Yeah, it was probably a little cavalier to not buy any bangles, but let's see how I look after I put the 2 slots. Yeah, I suppose I'm gonna... Again, it's not of crucial importance, but, you know, I'm not gonna be running from any random encounters necessarily. Alright, and I'll probably sell... I think you can't sell the Barrett original gun. Yeah, the Gatling gun you cannot, so... Yeah. Selling ether is definitely just the... I mean, like, ethers are valuable, but they also are not sold. They're somewhat rare. It's not really, like, it's not like I'm gonna need every single one, but, you know, I like to hang on to them if I can. They can be awfully handy. Alright, that should be fine for the time being. Again, it's not a matter of, like, being absolutely optimal or anything. Just, not too much to worry about in the early game. I was gonna talk to Johnny there, but I guess I missed my chance to. That's okay. Not the kind of thing I'm gonna reload over. Do you want to talk to these guys? They talk about, you know, Loveless, which is, you know, you see the poster for it's like a play or something, but he also asks him if he's retarded, which is, you know, funny. Yeah, they're saying to be on guard for avalanche. So yep, we're gonna board the train and we're gonna try and do pretty much the exact same thing we did last night. We're gonna make it up to the top level up on the plate, and we are gonna head on over to Sector 5 and we are gonna bomb the heck out of it. And that's gonna, you know, worked the first time. Why not give it a try? And this, yeah, this Shinra manager again is just like, just not happy Barrett's here. Barrett and the Avalanche crew is here causing trouble. Yeah, he gets into a confrontation with him. Yipes. Mr. Serious about his work. So yeah, the thing that worked last night for the ID scan, it's not going to work this time. So right before they would be checked, they're going to jump off a moving train. Pretty bold plan. wing it. Yeah, things have gone awry. Yeah, we will learn before too long that you can go back and talk to that guy for an item, but not chancing it, just running. I think this guy is an item. Yeah, I want it. And you can get mugged here by there's a guy wandering around. I think it might be in the next car. I think it's in this car. Oh, and I'm not even sure if I noticed that before, but yeah, there's Johnny. Yep, there's the mugger right there. Oh. That's right. Oh wait, do you have to talk to him again to get it back? All right. Well, whatever he took kind of doesn't really matter. Yeah, you definitely want to make it to the end because you get to see them wearing disguises. There's Jesse's wearing like a Shinra officer outfit, and Biggs has got this like kind of business attire on, and I think we can only see Wedge after we jump off, but yeah, Wedge is like dressed like a little boy. I think like he's wearing overalls and he's got like a hat and stuff. Your spiky ass. Yeah, Barrett's got so many great lines in this. Barrett's great. Yeah, there he is. There's Wedge. No, he doesn't have a hat, but yeah, no, I think he's definitely supposed to be like, oh, I'm just a run-of-the-mill boy, just riding the train. And yeah, if on any of the previous like train cars with the timer, if you let the time run out, you'll have to jump early, and it's just it puts you further south in the tunnel, and it just means you have more further to travel, and therefore more random encounters. It's not a huge deal if you fail. And interestingly enough, if you go all the way south, there's like a guard there's like a guard at like a booth, and if you talk to him, you get a random you get a fight with those soldier guys that have those kind of like the masks and those like laser hands. I'm sure you know the guys I'm talking about, but yeah, you can just have as many of those fights as you want. Yeah, not that there's any reason, not like they're particularly good grinding, but again, kind of interesting because I don't think a lot of people would necessarily. Well, actually, I guess that's interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if a fair amount of people did check it out just to see if there was a chest or materia and stuff. I think, in like my first playthrough, I would be inclined to check every single place just to, see where they might be hiding a materia or what have you. But, in subsequent playthroughs, when you have where all the important stuff is, I'll still usually kind of click around just to get random text, just kind of for the flavor. But, I definitely won't go down random like nooks and crannies that I know don't have anything to do in them. So. Yeah, sleep is definitely one of the early status effects you get, where it's not like sleep by itself is not a huge deal because being damaged will wake you up. But, when you're just trying to kind of do a bunch of auto attacking and go fast, it can, I guess, be a bit on the irritating side. Yeah, what? I think there's an item down there, but it's not. Oh wait, well, I'll tell you where there is an item right here. I was talking about the other way. I started to go a bit backed up. If there is, it's either an item or it loops back. Oh, you know what? Nope, I screwed myself up. I was right the first time. That was the right way. This way I went is the way that it loops back around. Oh. I deserve this random encounter against these scorpion praying mantis guys with weird kind of mosquito-y kind of beaks. Which I'm not really sure what they're doing here. I don't know if it's like, oh, these just critters. They just, you know, they love Mako reactors. And I mean, I assume that Shinra doesn't want them in here. It's not like they have these things to guard the place. I assume it's just like a monster that's, I guess we do definitely learn about, you know, some monsters do come from, you know, Mako related stuff, reactor related stuff. So we definitely want to be using the limit breaks as soon as we get them. The way it works in this game with the first 3 levels is first to get the to get the second level 1 limit break, you need to use the first level 1 limit break a certain number of times, and then after that it's getting last hits that'll do it. I am not planning on using Tifa necessarily. I guess if I started landing a bunch of these rolls or whatever, maybe I'd change my tune. But, no, I probably won't change my tune. But still, again, no reason not to do it, just for progress sake. But yeah, with these early limit breaks, you kind of want to spam the first one. And then the second one is kills. Namely, it has to be last hits. So that's where I will be trying to, well, not this time. Not gonna get burned again. Where was I? But yeah, trying to be kind of calculated with how I do my last hits, so I can progress through the limit breaks more quickly. There's the last member. They all didn't have to jump off of the train; they made it through their disguises. But anyway, this is let's see, yeah, I think it's about the. You know what? I don't have to guess if it's about the hour mark. I can save my game, and yeah, there we go. 57 minutes. I think we could probably call it there, but yep. Join me next time. We'll be fighting the robot boss and meeting Eris and all kinds of fun stuff as I try and very quickly get through Midgar and the early game stuff, so I can get back to where I was when I was doing my cursed Remako run. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Bye.